Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your shifter AC surround off. I never had a radio in this car, so this is easy for me, but you just stick your hands back in here and you just pull it off here, 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 and over here. Take your shifter off, spin it off, and then this will come out. Anyway, that's the first thing you want to do is get this thing out of the way. So this is the radio that I'm going to be temporarily using. I just went to Walmart and bought it for $23. Basically, my thought process here is I'm still going to try and use that iPad for a radio, but I would need a constant Bluetooth speaker in the car at all times, which would be this. So technically, what I'm going to try and do is hook this radio to the door speakers in the car, and then I'm going to Bluetooth my iPad to the radio. So my radio is technically the Bluetooth speaker from my iPad. That's my thought process here. So since I don't have a radio, I went and bought this one. So like I said, 23 bucks at Walmart. I have no interest and no care to I don't care what this thing looks like. I'm just going to toss it in here after I, get it to work or whatever. I'm either going to set it in here because the iPad's going to cover it anyway. I'm either going to toss it in here like this, or I'm just going to literally just put it back here, like something like that. Like I really don't care what it looks like. But anyway, we have to wire it in. So it gives you a plug when you buy it, which is right here. I've already started kind of working on it, so I'm going to go through the wiring now. But yeah, I'm basically just using this as a Bluetooth speaker for my iPad. That's the thought process. That's the goal here for me. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this bad boy plugged in, wire it up, and then get the iPad and see if it works. I actually don't have any door speakers up here, but I did buy 2 of them for the back. So we'll at least see if it works at least a little bit. So yeah, let's go ahead and wire this bad boy up. So the wiring for the radio that it comes with is not terrible. It's not too bad. There's only 10 wires or so. So it's not awful. So we're gonna go ahead and get this sorted out. We're gonna figure out which colors these go to in the car. So yeah, let's go ahead and based off of this, let's find our manual online and see which colors go to what. Okay, so I found a little forum here. So we have car radio battery wire constant power is red and black on the S13. So that would be your constant power that's always on. So we'll go over to the harness and try and find that. The radio accessory wire switched power 12 volt is blue. So that is going to be the one where you turn the key on, the radio turns on. And then the ground wire, we're just going to hardwire straight to the chassis under a bolt or something, which is going to be just black on the harness. So let's start with those 3 and go from there. Okay, so like I said, I don't have a radio, but this black loom of wires is a radio wires, I believe. So I've already kind of started to find the ones we were looking for. So based off the directions, we're looking for the ignition wire, the constant wire, and then the ground. And off my phone, what we were just looking for is the constant power wire is red and black. So we'll start with that. So we need to find the red and black wire, which I believe is this one right here. Luckily, as a previous 240 owner, somebody has already been in here and is messing with it. Yeah, can you see that? It's like spliced into 2 wires. Or there was like a connection here. They turned 1 wire into 2. Yeah, close enough. But there was like a butt connector or something here, and then the coating disappeared, I think. Yeah, see that? It turns 1 wire back here into 2. So somebody was in here using this power wire to power more than one thing. So this goes to nothing. And then I already did the other end over here. I'm just gonna use this one, but I stripped the wire back, and on the sheet for the radio connection is the yellow one with the fuse on it. So here's my radio connector. Sorry, that's really bright. The radio connector is yellow, so we're using the yellow to that black and red. So we're just gonna set it like this for now. Alright, so I got that one. Now it says to use the ignition wire. So we did the yellow one, like it said. Yellow is the battery, which is the constant, black and red. So now we need ignition red. And in the car, the phone says the ignition, which would be switched power, is blue. So now we need to find the blue wire, which I have already done also, which is right beside it. Is this one. Right there. It's just solid blue. And then you hook that up to the red on the harness that came with the radio. So we have red to blue, yellow to red and black. Now, from here, all you have to do is just take the black wire and then ground it. So we literally just have to put it on like this nut over here or something, you know. So we'll have to get a nut, ring nut thingy, put it under there, just like this over here on this side. Somebody already did it. Just do the same thing. So we'll just ground that wire. Then you could just plug it into your radio and see if it turns on. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so just to clean this up for myself, I'm going to cut this off, these double wires. I'm going to cut it off back here and turn it back into a single wire real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I went ahead and put a butt connector on here to that wire, cut it off, and I lengthened it by quite a bit just to have better access to it. So just to make sure it still works, I have my test light here grounded, and this is a constant connection. So this should light up if I did it correctly, and it does. So we're good. We still have connection there. So yeah, this is good to go. So now I can put this end on the end of my radio connections, which is right here. So this is the constant one. So I've already butt connected the yellow one from the radio harness. So now I can just hook these two together, and that wire will be finished now. Alright, so I have one wire completely finished. The yellow wire from the radio harness into this extension wire that I created, into the wiring harness over to red and black. So that wire is completely done. So on the check sheet here, we have the second one completed, yellow, which is the constant 12-volt battery. Alright, so that's done. So now we can do red, which is the ignition, or the one what turns the radio on with the key. So that one will go to the blue one that we found out from the car. So don't know why it does that, but yeah, blue to red now. So let's go ahead and do that next. Alright, there we have it. From the connection, we took the red wire and I butt connected it to the blue wire all the way back here. I did not use an extension wire between them because this one was long enough. The only reason I did that with this one was because it was way back here from being used by somebody else, so it was just too short. But this one's good. So yeah, we went from red to blue, and then from red and black to yellow. So that checks out. So now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to do the black ground next and see if the radio turns on. So yeah, we'll put the butt connector on here, and I'm going to extend the black wire because it's going to go a little further. We're going to put it down here, either on this one, or I'll ground it out with this one right beside it. So yeah, let's go ahead and extend this little black wire to a really long black wire and put it in right here. Alright, so here we are. We have connector to black wire, to butt connector, to extension, to the little hole thing. So now all we gotta do is just take this and put it down there, and then we can plug this end into the back of the radio and see if it turns on. Okay, so I have the power wire plugged in, I have the power switch wire plugged in, and the radio is now grounded. So all we have to do, theoretically, is put the key in, turn it on, and the radio should work, or at least turn on. So let's go ahead and do that. Flip it one position forward, and then we just go up here to the power button on the radio. Boom. Sick. Alright, so our radio works. It turns on, and it has volume works. So now all we have to do is just hook up the speakers, which are all the rest of the wires. So you'll have a positive and negative for each, which the paper says right here. So you'll have, you know, left front plus a negative, right front plus a negative, and for all the 4 door speakers. So now all we have to do is go back to our cell phone, find the manual again, and then figure out which color in that harness back there is front, you know, front left positive, front left negative, and so on and so forth. Like I said, I only have 2 door speakers at the moment, which are the ones in the back, so I'm just going to find those 2 and test to see if those wires work. If they don't, we'll have to manually run a set of wires to each one. So like I said, I don't know if they work, so let's go ahead and unbox those and see which if these wires in the car work or not. I mean, previous owners in 240s kind of hack stuff up, so they might not work. So let's go ahead and see if they do or not. Okay, so also while I was at Walmart, I grabbed these quick Sony 4x6 speakers, which apparently are the front as well as the rear. I only just got these 2. They were $30 for the pair. So we're just going to stick it up here in this hatch speaker wire. Somebody has put in a wire already for red and white, which actually are just blue and yellow, and blue and white, I believe. So that might be their factory color in the factory harness. You can see that. So when we go back to the radio itself, we'll just pick the blue and white one and just see if it sends signal back here to this speaker. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alrighty, so here we have the speaker. Looks pretty nice. And on the sides we have the plugs. There's one's bigger. The red one on the right here, is bigger, so that's the positive. Luckily for me, like I said, somebody already did that. So this is bigger than this one, so we'll just put the red on here and the other one on here. And then we'll go back to our radio wiring and send some signal back here and see what happens. So in the manual, it says blue and white is left front speaker, and blue and yellow is left front speaker negative. Well, from what I just showed you, it's blue and yellow back there is a rear right. So yeah, I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm just gonna find those 2 colors and hook it up into, I don't know, anything really, it doesn't even matter. But we can try left front like it says here, and that's what it says on the manual. So we'll use the white wire and then the white and black wire. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. We're just basically just testing the speaker to see if any music comes out of it at all. So you could really hook it up to any of these since it's the only one that works. So, alright, well, let's go ahead and try that and see if we can get some sound back there. Alright, so here are the two speaker wires we're going to be working with. This one's the yellow and blue. It's hard to see, I'm sorry. And this one is the white and blue. So we're going to work with these two, strip them down, and then connect them loosely to one of the two on the radio connection harness. So we'll just hook them up to anything and see if we can get some tunes back there. So this says that the white and blue is the positive. So to confirm that, we will go back here in your hatch and see if that is accurate or not. Just to make sure, you don't want to send the wrong signal to the wrong one. That magnet is really strong. But we have the red wire here. Where are we? Sorry, I'm casting a shadow on myself. The red wire here runs over to the blue and yellow wire. Sorry, it's really hard to see, but that's how mine's hooked up. So I'm going to use the blue and yellow as the positive. So, blue and yellow is positive. So that's what I'm going to use here for my positive. So, alright, let's go ahead and hook this up to one of the positives on this harness. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm just going to use the white wire because it says that this is a positive wire. So left front positive, white is going to go to that blue and yellow wire. Okay, so I have those loosely connected right here and right here. So now we're going to turn the car on. I have my iPad here ready to go. So we're going to connect this iPad to that radio, and then hopefully it should send a signal back to that speaker in the hatch. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it says it has connected successfully. So on the radio, we'll just have to find the mode in which turns Bluetooth on, which I'm not sure how to do. That's not it. So one sec while I find the mode button. Okay, so here's mode. Let's push this, see what happens. Bluetooth on, it seems. Alright, so let's try playing something off the iPad. Okay, I hear nothing. Still nothing. Says it's going. Alright, so I'm assuming those speaker wires don't do anything. Let me check that. So those speakers in the back don't work. So this door panel was barely put on anyway. So I just reached down in here. There's some speaker wire here. It looks like they're brown and white and a brown hooked up to the positive and negative here. So I'm going to go ahead and try these instead and see if it works. Okay, so I'm assuming all the speaker wires in this whole car don't work because I have it hooked up to these two as well, and I'm playing something and I still have nothing coming out of here. So I don't know, I got this going on here with some cut wires on it. So I don't know if this is doing anything, to be honest. I can't find the end. So I'm just going to take this piece of speaker wire I had laying around. I'm going to literally just hook it up from these two in the radio harness straight into here and then straight into that. And it should just send the signal straight over from the head unit to the speaker via this wire. So let's go ahead and try that, see if this even works. Okay, so from the back of the head unit, I've just picked a plus and negative of any one of them, doesn't matter. And I have it hooked up to just this piece of speaker wire, ran across my lap and over to this speaker. So again, I'm going to see if this works. I don't know if it does or not. I've tried the back one already, it doesn't work. I've tried the front one, it also doesn't work. So let's just see if this physically works the way it's supposed to. So let's go ahead and play a song and see what happens here. Okay, we got some sound here. Alright, so that sounds pretty good. So yeah, okay, great. So unfortunately for me, that means I have to rewire this whole car, which is kind of shitty. But luckily enough, my idea is going to work of using an iPad for a radio and using a radio as the Bluetooth speaker. So the thought is I'm just going to tuck this back in there eventually and then use my iPad out here to be showish and look nice. So at least the concept will work. So now I'm kind of mad, but also like not mad because it's 240 and like I just should have known that that was going to happen. So now I'm going to have to go to Walmart and get a whole bunch of speaker wire and just run from these on the radio out to every door speaker, you know, out under the carpet, across through the door into that one, out under the carpet, under the dash, across to the door to this one, out under the carpet, down the door, into the back for the hatch, and then out under the carpet, into the back for that hatch. So it's whatever, I guess, but at least I'll know it's done right and I won't have to worry about it because I did it myself. So alright, well I guess I'll just stop this video now. The video is technically a fail because it didn't work, but it also is a win because it did work. So I don't know where you want to stand with it. But yeah, so my next video I'm just going to wire everything up. Hopefully this was helpful. I don't know if it was or not. But if you're hooking up a radio like me, then you can follow along. All the wires are the same. The concept is the same. These are just going to be more specific now. So the white wire that I'm using on the piece of paper will tell you exactly where it needs to go, which is the front left. So this is technically a driver's speaker. So I could just literally take this wire and put it over there in that door, and this will be done. So you'll just follow the guide on here, find the wire in the car, which I guess doesn't matter now, so don't do that. Find the wire on here, and then wire your own wire to that specific spot. So in the next video, we'll do that. So I'll stop rambling, and I'll just end the video here. I hope this was helpful in any sort of way. I hope I'm a decent teacher of trying to explain what I'm trying to do, and this is helpful for you guys. So I don't know. There's some good information here. Maybe I'm not conveying it the best, but I'm definitely trying. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to move on to the next video now. So we're going to wire this up and hopefully put everything back together, and we should have a completed project. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.